this just in, YouTuber gets robbed while filming a action mode test on the iPhone 16 Pro Max versus the Galaxy S25 Ultra action mode. And he gets it all on camera, but which action mode looks better? Let's look at the footage side by side and check which one is better.
Give me all your money!
What?
Give me your money!
What?
The stabilization is actually extremely good on both of them. One thing I do notice about the S25 Ultra is that it does get a little bit distorted. It doesn't get quite as, so the iPhone gets a little more shaky. So it seems like the iPhone stays sharper, but the S25 Ultra kind of gets a little more distorted when they're running. So while the S25 Ultra did have more distortion, it did seem to kind of stay better in the frame where the iPhone was kind of rocking back and forth. So I'm gonna give the win to the Galaxy S25 Ultra on this one, and let's go on to the next one. All right, so this next one is the granny shaking hands test. No offense to old people by any means, but I just know that the old people have a shaky hands, and when they're recording, it can translate into the video. So we're testing to see just how well the phone reacts to the shaking. And also we do call a little audible here, and we end up just doing a full-on shake test with the phones. And so you'll see that right here where we just start going in loops, because I want to see just how well the stabilization can be on both of these phones. We have the S25 Ultra on my left hand and the real iPhone 16 Pro Max in my right hand, and we will see. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so when it comes to the granny shaking, like, you can hardly even tell on both of them. This will be great for your grandmothers and your grandfathers who are taking video of you playing your soccer game, and you'll have no problems. The stabilization will be amazing. It'll be looking like a GoPro right here. But where things start to get a little bit different is when we get into the actual shaking. We see that same trend where the iPhone is a little more smooth and clear, where the S25 Ultra starts to get a little distorted. And things kind of fall a little bit out of focus with the S25 Ultra, where the iPhone still stays sharp even though it's shaking around violently. So this one, I'm gonna give the dub to the iPhone 16 Pro Max, putting them both at 1-1. All right, and our next test is the stairs test. So this time I'm gonna be running up these stairs with both phones in my hands, as you can see right here. And I wanna see how well the phones can react to basically just stairs. So if you're running down the stairs and you're recording, what does it actually look like? All right, so we got them two right here. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Oh, the iPhone's doing that shaking thing like we saw before, where the S25 Ultra is staying a little more stable. Okay, honestly, the S25 Ultra seems to be kind of killing it in this test. It almost like it reacts better with the shaking a little bit more. Okay, we'll look down at my feet for a second. Okay. I accidentally switched the camera on the S25 Ultra. That was my bad. Okay. Honestly, I'm very impressed with the S25 Ultra in this one. It seems to do a lot better job at not rocking back and forth, where the iPhone is rocking back and forth kind of violently. So this dub goes to the S25 Ultra. All right, now for our fourth test right here, we are gonna just run in a straight line down the street to see which one looks better on the stabilization. We're doing horizontal this time, so we'll see the actual difference, but you can see we're putting into action mode, where you tap the top right to get into the action mode. So the Apple action mode now supports 4K at 60 frames per second, and the Samsung also does match that with 4K, also 60 frames per second in their action modes. So the Apple action mode combines a sensor shift optical image stabilization, OIS, with electronic image stabilization, EIS, for superior shape reduction. Whereas the Samsung employs an optical stabilization, and the Samsung also employs an optical and EIS stabilization, which basically narrows the gap between the stabilization. Now the iPhone has optimized their action mode, so it makes it so there has minimal battery drain on the action mode, where the Samsung has a little bit more battery drain than the iPhone, but they're starting to roll out software updates that'll improve the efficiency so that this super steady mode does not drain the battery as much. All right, so running down the parking lot, this is kind of what it looks like. I'm just running. People think I'm a psycho for just running down this parking lot with two phones in my hand, but it is what it is. And looking at the two, they're just holding them handheld, and these are the results that we get right here. The top is the S25 Ultra, and the bottom is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And this is the quality we can expect. Okay, we're looking at those same type of trends with the distortion with the S25 Ultra, and the iPhone seems to be having a little bit harder time, but very decent overall. So yeah, as we look at the top on the S25 Ultra, we see that distortion kind of cutting in, where the iPhone's doing a lot better job at staying in the same spot on this one. There's less rocking. We're gonna give the dub on this one to the iPhone 16 Pro Max. All right, our next test right here is the parkour test. So I do kind of look like an idiot running around this building, jumping around all these things. All right, so we have the Samsung on the very far left and the iPhone on the right, and wow, this one is actually a lot bigger difference. You can notice the distortion is a lot more pronounced on the S25 Ultra when I'm running around and jumping like a freaking psycho. But yeah, like the things on the iPhone stay a lot more crisp, or the S25 Ultra just seems to kind of lose some of that quality as the phone shakes. I wonder if that's the OIS just kind of getting a little rattled and the EIS just not recovering for that, where the iPhone, it does recover very well and it actually looks pretty good. So I'm gonna have to give the dub to the iPhone on that one. And for our last test of the action mode, we are gonna be replicating a school fight. I always do these videos where I compare the shake test on Shorts and TikTok and Instagram, and always the top comment is, school fights are gonna go crazy now. School fights are gonna go crazy. Oh, can't wait for the school fights now. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So for our test, we are gonna be replicating a school fight to see just how well the action mode can keep up with a school fight. Obviously, this is not a real school fight, and it's just my friends beating up each other. Okay. All right, so I got my two cameras right there. Starting these ones. All right, now I got my friends right here prepping to fight each other. Throwing punches. Oh, all right. Okay. Wow, this is the dumbest idea ever. What am I doing? Oh, freak, he gets slammed. Oh my gosh. Oh, Porter. I'm sorry. Porter gets annihilated in this one. Okay. Wow, that was crazy. See, as you can see, I was kind of roaming the room as like a freaking person recording a school fight would do. And so let's check what it looks like. Okay, all right, I got Porter getting prepped to get absolutely freaking annihilated. Jackson's a lot bigger than him. Oh, punches missed. Okay, all right, the stabilization looks really good, honestly, on both of them. I'm very impressed at what's going on right here. Okay, and he gets dropped. All right, honestly, the quality for the shaking is crystal clear. Like, I'm very impressed at how this is turning out right now. I think that it will suffer more in low light, but at the end of the day, they both do look extremely good. So if you have either one of these phones and you turn on the action mode, school fights are gonna be a beauty. They're not gonna be those crappy shaky things that you never even know what's going on. They're gonna be lit. So yeah, anyways. All right, on the last one, after comparing the two footages side by side, the iPhone was a little bit brighter and you can see the details in the faces just a little bit better. And so I'm gonna give the win to the iPhone. This one is very debatable. If they would have got that, it would have been a tie. But at the end of the day, the iPhone did end up winning 4-2 on the action mode test, but both performed exceptionally. And you could get away with either one of them on an action mode test. But yeah, anyways, be sure to leave your hate comments. I know there's gonna be plenty of them, but yeah, anyways, make sure to like, subscribe, and peace.